Hey, welcome back. Just 2 days until Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump face off for the very first time at Hofstra University in that debate. So what can we learn from past memorable debate moments? Here now with his advice is Scott Jennings, former special assistant to President George W. Bush. Nice to see you this morning, Scott.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Take your podium. We have there's special rules this morning. So this morning we're going to dive into some history here, and you're going to give us the lesson learned. So let's start with Ronald Reagan implying that Jimmy Carter is lying by saying, "There you go again." Watch this famous quote.
These are the kind of elements of a national health insurance important to the American people. Governor Reagan, again, typically is against such a proposal.
Governor, there you go again.
And I guess Reagan at the time was sort of seen as radical before this debate, right?
Yeah, he was also seen as being in the driver's seat in this election. I'm not sure if anything could have helped Jimmy Carter in 1980, but there's something important about staying calm and knowing when the attack is coming and what is coming. And instead of getting worked up and feeling like you're defensive, Ronald Reagan looked in control of the situation and had something ready for an attack that he knew was coming. So it shows you that prep is important, and they knew they were going to get that attack, and so he was prepped with a calm answer.
So Donald Trump could probably take something away from this.
Yeah.
Reserved response. All right, here's in 2000, Al Gore trying to intimidate George W. Bush. Watch this famous moment.
That's what the question in this campaign is about. It's not only what's your philosophy and what's your position on issues, but can you get things done? And I believe I can. All right.
That was such a bizarre moment. He just walks over to him, stands next to him. It's like, what are you doing here? And I thought he handled it beautifully.
Yeah, the president of the United States, who I worked for, and I was working on that. That was my first presidential campaign. So when we saw that moment, cheers went up from the Bush-Cheney headquarters all over the country. But the issue there is demeanor. We look for the president of the United States to be strong. We look for strong body language from our president. And so Al Gore clearly had rehearsed this little moment where he was going to try to intimidate George W. Bush, and Bush handled it perfectly. And that was sort of a microcosm of what was happening in the campaign. Gore was a little bit weak. Bush was running as a strong governor, and that debate moment played right into the sort of narrative of that campaign.
And then Al Gore sighing through another whole debate.
Yeah,
he learned
that's
his
right.
lessons there. Scott, we're going to have you back, I think, next hour. We're going to dive deeper into some of these moments and lessons learned from these debates. Thanks so much, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.